Greetings, everyone. Dr. Jack Wolfson, board certified cardiologist. Welcome to day number 18 of Happy Heart Month over here at Natural Heart Doctor. Welcome, everyone. Say hello, jump into the chat box. I'm wearing my blue blocker glasses this morning. I should wear them all the time. We'll have a link for you to get the suggested glasses that you see here. And again, I apologize for the reflection of my screen. In any case, welcome, day number 18, Happy Heart Month. Say hello, jump into the chat box. Don't forget, write down the word of the day, submit all the words of the day. At the end of the month, you get a $50 gift card and eligible to win the triple toxin test. So again, great to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about EMF, electromagnetic fields. We'll be talking about wireless communication radiation. We'll be talking about these things that are so detrimental, so dangerous, so harmful, and yet mainstream medicine does not talk about this. So again, I want everyone to understand how important it is to be able to mitigate or to decrease the amount of EMF. Now, what is EMF? What is this wireless communication radiation? What does that mean? It means these electrical man-made devices and activities that are causing such an issue. So think about Wi-Fi. Think about the computer that I'm looking at, the device you're looking at, your cell phone, your wire, your router, your smart meter, your television set, your electrical outlet, the cell phone tower, the satellites in the sky, the power lines. All of that stuff can play a huge role in your health. Some people are overtly symptomatic. They feel brain fog. They feel palpitations. They feel symptoms when they are near this stuff and they need to get away from it. Other people, it's more sinister. It's more of this kind of quiet, long-term issue that eventually leads to problems. Again, as a cardiologist, we do an EKG. The EKG measures the electrical system of your heart. What does this wireless communication radiation do to the electrical system of your heart? If we do an EEG, we're measuring the electrical activity of the brain. If we do an EMG, we're measuring the electrical activity going to muscles. So why would we think that all of this man-made electrical fields does not impact our own electrical field? And of course it does. Dr. Martin Pall, PhD, Washington, he discusses this very often. That's his life's work. There are other doctors who talk about similar. And what my job to tell you is we're not waiting to see all of the literature produced on the dangers. We want to be proactive as it comes to ourselves and our families' cardiovascular and total body health. Good morning to everybody again. We're talking today about EMF, electromagnetic fields, EMR, electromagnetic radiation, wireless communication radiation, whatever we want to say. We are inundated by all of this man-made electrical energy. And if we think about how things were 200 years ago, there was nothing as far as electrical energy. It was only what would come from the earth, the electromagnetic frequencies from the earth, certainly from the sun, from the stars, and of course from the energy of living beings and even things that are not living that emit energy. So now, though, there is an infinite number of signals. Again, if you're holding a radio, remember like an old-time radio, and you're listening to AM and FM radio, that device is picking up the frequencies from some tower. Your cell phone is picking up the frequencies from a tower, and that means they're traveling everywhere. It's like the commercial of "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" Because everywhere the guy steps, the frequencies are there. And they are dangerous and they can potentially lead to a lot of problems. So we need to do what we can do in that scenario. So again, this is a huge topic. We've done excellent interviews from people that again spend their life's work doing this stuff. We'll have more things in an email and more podcasts and more things to show you. But what my job is today is just to make you aware that wireless communication radiation coming from satellites, coming from power lines, coming from cell phone towers, coming from your device. So let's just talk about a few strategies we can do immediately to decrease the burden of these EMFs. Number one, turn off the Wi-Fi router at night. Go find the Wi-Fi router in your house and just press bink, turn it off at night. Number two, make sure you put your cell phone, get it as far away from you as possible. When it's not in use, so you don't need it, consider turning it off or putting it on airplane mode. If you use it at night for a night light or as an alarm, again, put it in airplane mode so it is not emitting and it is not receiving these frequencies. Next thing, wearable technology. Use them sporadically. There's no reason to have a Wi-Fi device wristwatch on your body at all times. Next, don't use earbuds. Use use wired headphones. I never use earbuds. I don't own them. I don't want anything to do with them. They make me sick. Don't put the cell phone in your pocket, like I see so many men do. What else can I tell you for that? Again, just the other thing too is that, we'll look at the electrical outlets in your house. And make sure you're not sleeping right next to one. Certainly not one that has something plugged in. Consider, if you can, go to the circuit breaker in the fuse box and actually turn off the circuit breaker to your bedroom. So think about all these different strategies. They will make a difference. You may notice more energy. You may notice that you sleep better. Make your bedroom that fortress of solitude. Unplug. Try and limit the technology. Again, these kids with the online learning, it's the devices, the children with the devices. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. We live in the 21st century. I get it. There's an opportunity to use technology, but we need to be very careful about its usage. And then finally, you see me today. I'm wearing my blue blocker glasses. These are not prescription. They're just glasses with an orange lens that filter out the excess blue light. And the blue light is highly damaging. Blue light, especially after sundown, markedly decreases the release of melatonin by up to 60%. Melatonin is a hormone released from the pineal gland in the brain, and it does just about everything. It regulates all of our other hormones, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, some fantastic, just effusive literature about the benefits of melatonin. Let's produce our own by going to sleep on time, by limiting our blue light exposure, especially in the evening. And if you are on technology, again, there are different blue light filters. And then again, these glasses, then again, we'll put the link of where you can get these particular glasses. The actual lenses have melanin, not melatonin, but melanin, which is what our skin uses for protection, what our eyeballs have for protection. But this adds an extra layer to block out that high-level blue light part of the spectrum that is in technology that causes the damage. So I hope that all makes sense to everybody. Unplug as much as possible. Keep the technology whenever you can to a minimum. Understand it's a problem. Limit the exposure in children. Use the other strategies that I talked about. Again, where we're just trying to back away from the tech as much as possible. Don't use earbuds. Use wired headphones whenever. Use the speaker option on your phone. Never hold that phone up to your head. I could tell you, years ago, Heather and I were walking, and we stopped by an open house, and we were talking to the agent in there, and she was a young 30-something-year-old woman, and she had a huge scar, on the right side of her face. Huge scar in like a carved out area. And we're talking to her, and we tell her we're doctors, and we're having a conversation. She said, "Oh, well, you see this scar here," and yeah, it was clearly disfiguring on this woman. And we're like, yeah, what happened there? And she said, I had a parotid gland tumor. So again, that's one of the salivary glands, the parotid gland. On both sides of our mouth. And we said, how did you get that parotid gland tumor? How do you think you got it? And she said, for 15 years, I talked on my cell phone like this. So again, uh, um, there's a lot of special interests, as you can imagine, who are not interested in us learning the truth. Don't rely on them. Rely on common sense. Rely on Mother Nature. And that's how we are going to survive on planet Earth. So again, I thank you all for being here. We'll make sure everybody gets a copy of this video. Lots to unpack here. But Happy Heart Month is meant to be just kind of short snippets. Get to the point, get to the, where we're at. Not really a deep dive into the science of the why, but more of like, hey, this is a problem as identified by those of us professionals at Natural Heart Doctor, and this is how we can help with you. So, all right, so you stay tuned for the word of the day. And the word of the day today, you're going to write this down, and you're going to make sure that you send that in to us. And the word of the day, wow, what a word of the day today of what this is. Today's word of the day is fulfilled. Fulfilled. Fulfilled, fulfilled. What we did is we came up with all these different words several months ago that really identify what we represent as Natural Heart Doctor. And fulfilled is one of those words where, again, we want to live a life that is fulfilled. We want to feel fulfilled personally, professionally, financially, friends and family. We want that spiritual fulfillment. So again, I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and we are good to go. We'll come back tomorrow, more fantastic information, and go from there. Annette's asking about like wearable, like necklace, to protect us. I'm not really sure on that. When I speak to some of the professionals, frankly, I don't think that does really anything for us. I think there are protective measures that we can take, certainly, whether it's, there's special clothing, there's impregnated silver canopies that you can put over your bed. If you're really concerned about that, check out certainly our interview with Brian Hoyer, Nicholas Pinot. There's other people who are very, very, very highly expert in that field, but I don't know about I really don't consider anything you would put on the back of your phone or any kind of necklace. I wouldn't consider that anything protection-wise. There's no downside to those, but I think the upside is very limited. All right, have a wonderful day. This is the end of day number 18. Happy Heart Month over here at Natural Heart Doctor. Wishing you the best in your 100-year heart now and forever. Be well.